This Jacksonian Era Project answers questions 18 and 19. Question 18 addresses the birth of the Whig Party. Why did they come about and what did they stand for? In 1828, supporters of Jackson gathered together and called themselves the Democratic Party. Jackson's strong executive actions brought about many opposers to his policies. The opposers gathered together in the Senate in 1834 when Henry Clay and John Calhoun censured Jackson for removing federal deposits from the U.S. Bank. This event gave birth to the Whig Party. The Whigs deliberately named themselves after the pre-revolutionary political party which stood against monarchy because the Whigs viewed Jackson as an executive monarch, giving him the nickname King Andrew I. The Whig Party had almost nothing in common with each other except for their opposition to Jackson. Supporters of Clay's American system joined the Whig Party when Jackson vetoed certain actions surrounding Clay's system. Southern anti-federalists also joined the Whigs when Jackson decided to ignore the tariff of 1828, which hurt Southern farmers. South Carolina's nullification of the tariff further exemplifies their rebellious attitude towards Jackson. Evangelical anti-Masons also joined the Whigs because of their opposition to secret societies like the Masons, whom Jackson was a part of. The anti-Masons believed that the government should have more influence over religion and society, contrary to Jackson's beliefs, so they made a society to criticize other societies.
The second part of question 18 addresses the split of the Whig Party into the Conscience and Cotton Whigs, the Barn Burners, and the different beliefs each group had. The Conscience Whigs were Northern, generally New England Whigs. They believed in the abolition of slavery and the halting of the spread of slavery. Because of this, they opposed the annexation of Texas, which would add a new slave state to the Union. They believed that slavery would lead to the destruction of the Republic. The Cotton Whigs were generally Southern Whigs. They believed that slavery was not as important of an issue and thus de-emphasized it. They supported Southern politicians and were deeply involved in the textile industry, which required slave labor, which caused others to give them the name Cotton Whigs. The Barn Burners were a radical group that split off from the Democratic Party. The name comes from the idea that a farmer would burn down his entire barn to get rid of a rat infestation, which in this case represented their desire to remove the entire bank and corporation system to get rid of their abuses. They were an anti-slavery group that opposed the spread of slavery in new states. Like their name suggests, they had a no-compromise policy. The Free Soil Party was created from the merging of the Conscience Whigs, the Barn Burners, and other anti-slavery group called the Liberal Party. They agreed with the Will Presivo, which was designed to eliminate slavery from the lands acquired from the Mexican War. After the Compromise of 1850, which was a packet of 5 separate bills passed by Congress that temporarily appeased the issue of slavery, the Free Soil Party weakened and faded away. It was mostly absorbed by the new Republican Party between 1854 and 1856. The Whigs split because of differing opinions on the issue of slavery and poor candidate choices. The Conscience Whigs wanted to bring up the issue of slavery, but the Cotton Whigs attempted to de-emphasize the issue. Furthermore, the Whig Party did not pass a platform and also chose General Zachary Taylor as their candidate, a war hero who owned slaves and plantations, but had no political background that the Whigs could use to get a hint of his political opinions. Thus, the Northern Whigs suspected that the new candidate would support pro-slavery decisions and decided to split away from the main Whig Party.
Question number 19 asks, how did the Whigs steal the Democrats' common man image in the election of 1840 and successfully elect William Henry Harrison to the presidency? Martin Van Buren had won the election of 1836. Martin was appointed as a yes-man to Andrew Jackson, and he was disliked during his presidency for several reasons. First, many Democrats felt that he was sneaked into office by Andrew Jackson. Martin was an easygoing executive as opposed to Andrew Jackson, and he was not nearly as popular, so he had many enemies. During the rebellion in Canada, he played neutral, which also angered the abolitionists. Later on, there were economic difficulties. The Democrats nominated him again for 1840 as they had no alternative. The Whigs nominated General Henry Harrison. Harrison was well known from the battles of Tippecanoe and Thames. The Whigs also did not commit to publishing a political platform and hoped to win up Harrison's popularity and Martin Van Buren's unpopularity. A Democratic editor portrayed Harrison as an old farmer who would be happy with a pension, a log cabin, and hard cider. The Whigs responded by showing Harrison as a poor farmer who was caught from the flow to become president, and Martin Van Buren as an aristocrat who ate French food with golden teaspoons and plates and choked on log cabin hard cider. Whigs shouted slogans and responded to Democratic questions about the bank and the tariff of log cabin, hard cider, and Harrison is a poor man. Harrison won the election with a popular vote of 1,274,624 votes to 1,127,781 votes, and an electoral vote of 234 to 60. The election of 1840 influenced the development of popular politics by ending the era of good feelings and bringing back a two-party system with Democrats and Whigs. The Whigs, an aristocratic party, won the election by portraying their candidate as a common man. The election of 1840 shows the change from Jeffersonian democracy to Jacksonian democracy. Also, the aristocratic party won the common vote, and the Democratic Party was Andrew Jackson's.